Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Sorry, and welcome to today's orientation session on the Generation Global SDG Dialogue Series. We'll begin shortly. Now, before we start, I want to share a few housekeeping rules with you. This orientation session is hosted in webinar format. That means that it's not a video conference. And what does this also mean? First, you do not need to introduce yourself. Secondly, you don't need to keep your video unmuted, and you will not be able to use the chat function. You can also use the question and answer box to ask questions as we go along. And if you're joining us from YouTube today, you can add a comment from there. A recording and the slides of this webinar will be shared with you after the orientation session, so you don't need to worry about if you don't remember everything. It's totally fine. Now, welcome again to the SDG Dialogue Series, today's orientation session, information session. And thank you for joining us for this really exciting initiative of Generation Global, where young people ages 13 to 17 will use the skills of dialogue to connect, to learn and share about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Exciting, right? Now, just a few reminders or a little information about the SDG goals. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals are a blueprint with specific targets for solving the world's foremost challenges and are part of the 2030 Agenda. The 2030 Agenda means that the United Nations and participating countries, have agreed to meet to try to set these targets for each goal by the year 2030. Now, there are 17 goals in total, and these are connected to each other and are aimed at addressing poverty, climate change, inequality, health, and international cooperation. Now, reaching the targets is a really big job, so everyone has to work together for us to be able to achieve these. It is essential that young voices, especially yours, ideas and actions are included in addressing these challenges as well. Now, before we dive into this series and learn how to participate, I'd want us to take a moment to understand why the SDGs are important to you, and there might be many reasons why you have decided to join the Generation Global series and your peers in dialoguing about these important issues. But perhaps you are already a youth advocate in your own community, or maybe this is your first time taking a step towards reaching the 2030 Agenda. Let's just complete this quick poll so we can all, see some of the reasons why we're here together today. So let's take a few minutes to answer these. Okay, I'm seeing a few responses. So a few of us are sharing that they are advocates for one or more of the SDGs and want to share their experience. Others want to learn ideas for SDG community projects for their peers. That's good, that's really interesting. Others also want to hear about how the SDG impacts other people's lives, which is also really great. A number of you also want to practice dialogue skills to be better communicators and make better connections with global peers. Interesting. And also a few of you want to know how much the SDGs, more about the SDGs and find the series interesting. This is great, and it's nice to hear all of the reasons why you have decided to join the dialogue series. It's so great to see so many young people, passionate about the SDG series and the Sustainable Development Goals actually and participating today. Now, the series will provide you with knowledge about 4 select SDG focuses, which are good health, the future of work, rights and inequality, and climate change. And you also learn about the experiences and challenges surrounding these SDGs from your peers by using the skills of dialogue to help prepare you to work with others and find ways to address these challenges in your own lives and communities. Now, in the following slides, the subsequent slides, I'll take you through what you can expect from the series. And so there's no need to make notes. And don't worry, like I said, you don't need to force to remember everything. All of what I'm sharing with you today will be shared with you after today's session. Now, the SDG Dialogue series will build your knowledge and skills in these areas through a series of exercises and activities that should be both fun and informative. There will be the same formats for each of the SDG topics, and the series is spread over a 4-week period from 4th July to the 31st of July. Each week will cover a different sustainable development goal. So for week 1, which is from 4th of July through the 10th of July, we'll be talking about, or we'll be dialoguing about good health and well-being. Now in week 2, which is 11th of July to the 17th of July, we'll be dialoguing on decent work and economic growth. That's the UDA topic, wealth and poverty. Now in week 3, which runs from the 18th of July to the 24th of July, we'll be dialoguing about reduced inequalities, which is the the UDA topic, rights and inequalities. And in the final week, which is the 25th of July to the 31st of July, we'll be dialoguing about climate change, which is the UDA topic, climate change. Now you have the option to choose which topics you'd want to do from the event codes you have already entered. Now, please take note of these topics, the topics you will choose, and follow the instructions for each topic accordingly when you receive notification from us. If you want to sign up to do more topics, just add the relevant code in your profile. We have a support article on how to do this. So for example, you can when you go on your UDA platform, the student platform, you see just at the bottom, the support center. You just tap on the support center and you can read on the ways that you can do all of this. So now just, a bit of an overview of, our weekly activities for the SDG Dialogue series. Now, every week there'll be a series of fun and informative activities on the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure for you to participate in. The UDA is the interactive platform that leads young people through a game to learn the skills of intercultural dialogue and participates in forums focused on a variety of global topics and issues. The formats will really remain the same for every sustainable development goal. We'll take you through each of these 4 steps in the subsequent slides in detail, but in summary, for each activity, you start by reading a short briefing to familiarize yourself with the sustainable development goals, the statistics and challenges. This should really take about 15 minutes. And followed by this, you will have the second activity, which is completing an online topic on the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure, or the UDA, as we like to call it. Now, the topic should take you just about 30 minutes to complete. In the next activity, the third activity, now you book yourself into a video conference on the UDA. This will be your chance to interact, exchange ideas, and learn from peers about how the SDGs manifest in your communities. The video conference takes 60 minutes. Now, finally, which is the fourth activity, at the end of the week, you would submit a reflection on your learning experience by logging back to the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure and completing the pop-up survey. This should take you about 15 minutes. So in total, you can expect to spend about 2.5 hours each week, depending on how much time you want to spend on the activities. Now, every Saturday before your topic week, you'll receive an email with your SDG briefing and infographic. and instructions for completing your Ultimate Dialogue Adventure topic and booking into your video conference. Sometimes emails may end up in your spam or promotions folder, so it's really important to remember to check these. Now I'm going to walk you through each of these activities in the subsequent slides. The first activity is for you to read the SDG briefing and infographic. These will contain introductory information about the SDG and the challenge it addresses. There may be a short video that you can watch as well. The second activity is for you to complete the topic that relates to your topic on the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure. This is our website for students and is an interactive platform to learn the skills of dialogue and participate in forums focused on global topics and issues. The Saturday email mentioned before will contain the SDG briefing and information about which topic on the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure you need to complete. Now, please note you should have completed the Learning Dojo introductory topic on our Ultimate Dialogue Adventure site by 1st of July. Now, you only be allowed to access the topic if the Learning Dojo has been completed. So now here you can see a summary of which Ultimate Dialogue Adventure topics you have to complete depending on which SDG topic you have chosen. Remember that you can choose the topics you want to cover and do not need to tackle all of these topics. So for instance, if you choose the topic SDG 3, which is good health and well-being, the corresponding Ultimate Dialogue Adventure topic will be health and well-being. Now, if you choose topic 2, which is SDG 8, decent work and economic growth, the corresponding UDA topic is wealth and poverty. Now, if you choose topic 3, which is SDG 10 on reduced inequalities, the corresponding topic is rights and inequalities. And finally, if you choose topic 4, which is climate action, the corresponding topic is climate change on the UDA. Now, before we look at how you can get started on the platform, let's do a quick check to see what you've done so far on the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure to prepare yourself for the SDG series. So just select the option that applies to you. We'll take a few moments for you to answer these. Okay, nice. I see that a number of you have completed the Learning Dojo, which is really great. A few of you have registered but still need to complete the Learning Dojo. I'll encourage you to do that. And a number of you, just actually very few of you don't know about the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure and what the Learning Dojo are. So I'll just quickly run you through what that means. Now, I'd said before, the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure is our student platform in a really, simple, easy way to understand. It's a student platform. And once you sign up or once you create your accounts, you get, that really is the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure that you can engage in and that you can participate in. Now, the Learning Dojo is the introductory module. Once you have signed up and you have entered into the student platform, the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure platform, the Learning Dojo is really the first thing that you get to do. And essentially that takes you through what dialogue is, understanding the skills of dialogue, which skills you will develop, and which skills you need to participate in the Generation Global series, or just generally as part of Generation Global. All right, now to quickly demonstrate how this works. So this is what your dashboard will look like once you have the accounts on the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure. You'll see a list of all the different topics available. and you can click on Start Now to begin your topic. After you have completed a topic, you unlock the dialogue space. Now, to enter the dialogue space, you click on View Dialogue Space, which is circled to the to the left. Once in the dialogue space, you can begin a new dialogue on that topic or react to what someone else has written. To begin a new dialogue, click on Create a Dialogue. Now here you can see the different possible ways of reacting to someone's post. You can reflect, you can ask questions, you can challenge, and you can share. Now, each time you react or create a new dialogue, you receive points on the site, which we call XP. It is important to remember that you must gain 30 XP in order to complete a topic and unlock the ability to book a video conference. Also, again, very quickly, before we look at how to get started on the platform, let's do a quick check to see what some of us mentioned that we've already engaged in the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure. So I want to do a quick check what we've done so far on the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure and to prepare for the SDG series. So just select the option that applies to you. What do you need to do after you have read the SDG briefing? Right. I'm so glad and excited. Each of us got that answer right. So we're completing the topic on the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure and writing in the topics dialogue space. Great. Now, before we look at how to get started on the platform, another quick check on what you've done so far on the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure to prepare for the SDG series. Again, here, please select the option that applies to you. Now, the question is, how many points do you need in the dialogue space to unlock video conferences? Okay, so most of us chose 30 XP, which is right. You don't need to unlock 1 billion XP. That will be asking so much of you. So you need to unlock 30 XP, or you need to gain 30 XP to be able to unlock a video conference. Now, once you completed your topic on the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure, the third activity for you to do is participate in a video conference with young people around the world. You can pick any video conference session to book based on your availability during that week. Now, after you've booked the video conference, you will see the agenda, which will help you prepare for the session. Also, to help you prepare, think about the ways that what you'd like to discuss with other young people around the world on this particular topic. And it will be really great and very fantastic if you were prepared to share your personal examples of how this issue appears in your own lives. So, for example, what the impacts of maybe climate change or the rights of women and girls will be on your life, your family, and on your community. And just as a reminder again, all video conferences last for 60 minutes. Now, to show you what it looks like on the site, this is a screenshot. You arrive to this page by logging into the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure, clicking on the My Dashboard link at the top right-hand side of the page. Here's what your dashboard will look like once you've unlocked the ability to book a video conference for a topic. You simply click on the button on the right, which says Book a Video Conference. Now, once you've clicked that button, you will see all the different available video conference options, like what you see on the screen here. Now you choose a time slot which is most convenient for you by clicking on book a place. And just to remind you again, you need to book yourself into a video conference through this page on the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure. It is really important that you choose the correct time zone for where you live, which you would have or you would see when you're creating your account on the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure. And if you're unsure whether you selected the correct time zone, you can just check this by logging into your account and clicking on My Profile and View My Profile. You can check if all your details are correct, and then you can check which time zone you are connected to, where it says, please select your time zone. Now to change your time zone, just simply click on Update My Details and then choose the correct time zone. And again, just to remind you, I know this may be a bit of information, but all of this will be shared with you once the session is over. Now, the last activity will be to submit your reflection on the learning experience for that week. An email with a reminder to complete the reflection form on the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure will be emailed after every video conference. Submitting the reflection form indicates that you have completed the SDG topic for that week. If you've signed up for multiple topics, the same process will be repeated for each of the weeks. You have to wait for an email with the subject Video Conference Reflections. You click on the button at the end to log into the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure, and a pop-up will show, which will prompt you to submit a written reflection on what you have learned in your video conference experience. Now, a quick quiz. So we've talked about a lot of information today, and so it may feel like, so much to remember, but we have some tips to help you. And before I share that, I'd like us to, sort of have a quick quiz to see if you remember some of what you need to do to participate in the series, in the SDG Dialogue series. And of course, don't worry if you forget, you can always email us, and a member of our team or our staff will be happy to help you get on track. Now, the question is, what do you need to do after you have completed your video conference? Nice. So once you've completed your video conference, you submit your reflections. And I see that almost everyone submitted this. Of course, you can eat your favorite food. We definitely recommend that, but you need to submit your reflections first. Then you can go ahead to eat your favorite food. So now, if you complete any of the topics, you'll receive a certificate from us, which will recognize the topics you've completed and the skills you have applied. If you complete all 4 topics, you'll receive a special certificate as well as an additional digital golden badge. Please note that no matter how many topics you complete, all certificates won't be sent until the series is finished. So you'd have to hold on, whether it's the first week, second week, third week, final week, you have to hold on till we've completed all throughout the whole series, and then you can get your certificates. Certificates should begin to be sent in August and should be sent to you by August 22nd. So that's the 22nd of August. And please be patient. You don't need to contact us about this. We will send that to you. We'll send the certificates to you. Finally, if you have any concern about your safety or well-being for any reason at any time during the series, you can go to any page on the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure, and at the bottom, you will find the link to our safeguarding space. We're committed to safeguarding and protecting everyone that uses our platform and our program. Here, you can find information on how you can report this safeguarding issue. Now we will quickly show you our safeguarding video to make sure that you know the key information.
Generation Global, young people are at the center of what we do. Over the last 10 years, we've worked with over 500,000 students in more than 30 countries around the world to connect, build skills of dialogue and global citizenship. Dialogue cannot happen without ensuring the safety of its participants. We structure every element of our program to ensure you can participate safely, openly, and honestly. Safeguarding is the action that is taken to promote the welfare of children and protect them from harm. Protecting children from harm is everyone's responsibility. Abuse can come in many forms: physical.
Sorry, I'd like to just quickly start this video again.
Sexual, psychological, or emotional. At Generation Global, young people are at the center of what we do. Over the last 10 years, we've worked with over 500,000 students in more than 30 countries around the world to connect, build skills of dialogue and global citizenship. Dialogue cannot happen without ensuring the safety of its participants. We structure every element of our program to ensure you can participate safely, openly, and honestly. Safeguarding is the action that is taken to promote the welfare of children and protect them from harm. Protecting children from harm is everyone's responsibility. Abuse can come in many forms: physical, sexual, psychological, or emotional, and can come from anyone, including adults, teachers, parents, or other children and teenagers. While it is impossible to eliminate risk completely, every person who comes into contact with Generation Global is responsible for making our dialogue space safe and empowering for all young people. First, your privacy is very important to us. We collect details about who you are during registration. We inform your parents or legal guardian when you sign up. This information is never shared outside of our website. Second, we use trained moderators and facilitators to support you in developing your dialogue skills. All the adults who work with our program must pass a rigorous safeguarding training program and background checks before joining our team. Third, we have a clear reporting system, so if you ever have any concern or something you need to talk about related to Generation Global's website or work that either you experience or witness, please email us at safeguarding@institute.global. All of our safeguard policies and procedures are outlined clearly on our website in an area called Safeguarding Space. Lastly, our goal at Generation Global is to equip young people with the skills, knowledge, and attitudes to become active global citizens. Knowing your rights and responsibilities, both online and offline, and having the confidence and skills to demand them are important parts of your development. To help with this, we provide resources on important topics, such as human rights and hate speech, to help you understand and play your part in protecting yourself and your peers around the world. At Generation Global, young people
Now, at this point, if you have any questions, we'd be glad to take your questions and have questions from you. You can type in your questions in the chat box. I know that a number of questions have already been responded to. If you have additional questions, you can type them in the chat box and we'll go ahead to respond to them. Okay, so I'm just going to go through some questions quickly. Just pick a few questions that have been asked already and the responses, just so that every one of us is clear on what some of these questions are and the answers to these questions. Now, someone's asking, is it mandatory to complete the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure topic in order to connect to a video conference, and also will the video conference dates be of our choice or random? And the answer is yes, it is mandatory to complete the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure topic, which I shared early on. Otherwise, you'll not be able to book a video conference. And you need to do the topic if you have already completed. You do not need to do the topic if you have already completed this. The video conference will occur every day from Tuesday to Friday, and you can choose any slot of your choice. So I shared earlier how you'd see all the available dates and times and get to choose which of them is suitable for you. There's also another question on, will the orientation cover points for the new members only? Because I've been part of the SDG for over a year now, and until now, I know things you've said already. And our response is, if you participated last year, you already know most of the things covered in the orientation session. However, there are a few small differences between last year and this year. The most important one is the topics. And so we have different topics this year, and you'd still be able to benefit from listening in these sessions. And of course, there have been recordings of these sessions. If you joined in later on in the session, this session was streamed live on YouTube. And so you can go onto our YouTube channel, can head over there, and you can watch the recorded session from there. Also, there's another question on if there's any difference between the Learning Dojo and the SDGs. Now, I explained before, and just to reiterate again, the Learning Dojo is the first module of on the student platform once you've signed up or once you've created your accounts. And our student platform, like I shared, is called the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure. And the SDGs, out of the collective goals, of which all countries have sort of come together to sign to make sure that the world is a better place, and which is what this dialogue series is about. So the Learning Dojo really is that introductory module, and the SDGs are what the whole world has sort of come together to agree on. And so you need to complete a topic on the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure corresponding with the SDG that you want to participate in. Another question is, if you can delete one of the event codes you signed up for, and the answer is yes, you can do that. You can just contact us by clicking on submit a request in the Generation Global Support Center. The link is also on there. Will just be shared with you again, or you can send us an email at helpdesk@generation.global. Okay, and there's also another question on if you get a recording of this orientation session. As I shared, this orientation session was recorded, and so you can watch it on our YouTube channel. You can head onto YouTube and just type in Generation Global. You would see our YouTube channel, and on there you'll be able to watch the recording of this orientation session. There's another question on how many countries are participating. At the moment, there are young people booked in for the SDG series from more than 20 countries. So you can imagine how exciting it is talking about climate change, talking about all the other health and well-being, rights and inequalities, all of these different topics, talking about them with the other young people from over 20 different countries. And there's also a question on how will the participation be added to the student's profile? The response to that is, if you already have an account on the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure, you can log in and then select your profile. Now, once you selected your profile, you view your profile and then click on Update My Details. And that's where you'll be able to sort of add your participation to your student profile. Another question on if you have to complete all 12 topics in the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure. And the answer is no, you need to only complete the topics on the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure, which are linked to the topics of the 4 weeks of the SDG series. And you can learn about the topics by going on our website, and under the SDG Dialogue series, you get more information from on there. Finally, another question on how long you have to complete the learning module for the topics. The answer is there are video conferences each day from Tuesday to Friday, and depending on when you want to attend a video conference, you have to complete the topic before that. And so if you want to complete a video conference, so for instance, on a Thursday, you need to complete the topic by Wednesday. Another question on if it's possible to get a certificate in printed form instead of online. And the answer is you can print the certificate. That's a good news about it. Unfortunately, it will be, considering the number of participants, we won't be able to courier all the certificates to all different 20 plus countries, where participants are coming from. But the certificate that will be shared with you is definitely one that you can have printed yourself. All right, then if there are any other questions, it'll be good if I'll just take a few minutes, maybe about 5 additional minutes to have you ask questions which we can respond to. Or like I said before, if you have any questions, you can first of all watch the recording of this session if you missed the maybe an earlier part, or also you can just reach out to us via our help desk on the support center, and we'll definitely be reaching out to you or to answer your question. All right, a few more questions. What will be the evidence of participation to add in your profile for university? So you, like we said before, you receive a certificate at the end of the SDG series, which is going to list all the weeks and topics that you successfully completed. And this is definitely something that you can add to your profile to add to your university application. There's also another question confirming if you have to attend only one dialogue for each different SDG out of $6. And yes, you don't have to attend all dialogues, all dialogue sessions on a particular topic. One is fine, unless of course you have extra time and you want to just, keep having conversations, which is great. But ideally, you only have to attend one dialogue for each of the topics. And there's finally a question on someone saying that they completed all 12 topics, but they didn't receive their special badge. Don't worry, unfortunately, we don't have a special badge for completing all topics on the UDA, but you will definitely receive a special certificate for completing all 4 weeks of the SDG Dialogue series. Another question on if you need to take any seats or score points, or is participation only important? And the answer to that is, so there's no scoring. You only have to complete all the activities and earn 30 XP in the dialogue space to be able to unlock the video conference. And just one really important thing, it's still not too late to sign on to the SDG series. So I definitely urge you all here today to invite your friends. It would be really great to have as many as many conversations, as much dialogue as we can, have as much people, young people interacting with each other, dialoguing with each other, sharing their experiences, on the different SDG topics for the SDG Dialogue series. So it would be really great if you would invite your friends. A few of you may have received emails from us urging you to invite your friends. So definitely, please do invite your friends, invite your other young people that you know who fits in our brackets to participate in the SDG Dialogue series. And I can promise you that the more of your peers participate, the more, of course, experiences that are shared, and the more exciting the dialogue is or can be. Okay, a few more questions, and then we'll be rounding up. How do people interact through the session? So in a video conference, every student will be able to interact by opening their camera and their microphone. And these video conferences will be facilitated by a Generation Global trained facilitator. Another question, can you attend more than one video conference for one topic? And yes, you can indeed attend more than one video conference, but you don't need to attend more than one video conference for one topic. Another question, do you need to complete the dialogue adventure on Monday, or can you do another day? And the answer is you can complete on any day, but remember that you need to complete it before the day that you want to attend a video conference. So that if you want to attend a video conference, for instance, on a Thursday, then you need to complete the topic by Wednesday. All right, another one. If you have already filled all the event codes, okay, I'm sorry. So person has already filled the event code but can't do all of that. Can you delete the event code from your profile? And the answer is you have to send us a request via our support center, which I've shared with you how you can reach our support center, or you can send us an email at helpdesk@generation.global, and we will remove the event codes from your profile for the ones that you are unable to attend. All right, it's definitely been great. It's been extremely wonderful having all of you in today's session. And again, finally, before we wrap up, I just want to say that if you have any additional questions, if you have further questions, you can definitely contact us via the emails that I've mentioned, or by support center. And then you will, of course, from the support center, you find frequently asked questions, or if your question is not answered there, you can directly send us an email. And finally, just to say that, I understand that this was a lot of information, which you don't have to remember, all of it, but we will share with you this, all of the information shared here, so that you're able to have step-by-step guidance and the information that you require to be able to engage successfully in the SDG Dialogue series. So I'd want to say thank you so much again for joining me, joining the rest of us here. And we definitely look forward to having all of you and your friends as well, especially after you've invited them. We look forward to having all of you participate in the Sustainable Development Goals. We look forward to the interactions, we look forward to the conversations, and the very rich dialogue that is definitely bound to happen in the SDG Dialogue series. Thank you so much again, once again, for joining us and for joining me. I appreciate your engagement, your questions, and your just generally your engagement in this session. Thank you once again, and enjoy the rest of your day and your week. Bye.